Free college football picks. This is week 4, part 5. I'm Tony here with our college football pick show here for week 5 here. As we'll have, we're going to have 6 games. I'm sorry, 6 games. Now we're going to have 7 games for you here. We videotaped most of them already now, but 7 here on this. On part 5. Before we get to it, just a couple of things. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have free college football picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports like Major League Baseball, like NFL. Lots of live shows over our channel with lots of cappers giving out plays, making a great time to subscribe. We just debuted a new show this week. Midday Play with Mindy and Tiffany live at 1 p.m. each time. So guys, make sure you check out that show. Make sure you set those notifications. So when Mindy and Tiffany are live, you're live with them. We get those plays in real time. Also, if you would support our channel with that like, that thumbs up, we greatly appreciate it. And don't forget to visit our site, TonySpicks.com. We are a multi-capper site showcasing top cappers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers, get signed up to our long-term passes. Some of our hot cappers like Ramon Scott for the year. Joseph Schultz. Collins has been hot the last 30 days. Nick Vartini up there. Probably the last 7 days. Of course, Ramon, Nick, and Tim coming in strong. Mindy as well with the big, strong performance here for you on a Thursday. So be sure to click the links, get signed up to our long-term passes. As you'll scroll, you'll find our latest premium picks here in the center of the page. Tabs for best bets, our $15 premium pick, and our multi-pack offering great value. And you may also purchase plays a la carte from our pick ticker. There you'll find team versus team information. You can save 20% off all premium pick packages. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Access our page by clicking the link in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, get signed up. Always love to hear from you guys. You can post your picks in the comments. We are looking for cappers, so apply on that home page. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this one started. USC and Arizona State college football pick. Here we go. Action on Saturday. USC improved to 3-0, a 56-10 home victory to Stanford. Trojans stormed out to that 49-3 halftime lead. They rushed for over 6 yards a carry. They did allow over 5 yards per rush to the Cardinal here with 140 passing yards on 25 attempts. Trojans had a +3 turnover margin. Caleb Williams completed 19-21 for 281 yards with 3 touchdowns. He averaged 13.4 yards per attempt. But Williams played only a half with that huge lead. Williams added a 21-yard touchdown run. Arizona State fell to 1-2, a 29-0 defeat at home to Fresno State. Sun Devils rushed for under 2 yards a carry with poor production from their passing game. They allowed 2 yards per rush to the Bulldogs, but 281 yards passing on 49 attempts. ASU had a -8 turnover margin as their 3 quarterbacks threw a total of 5 picks. Correct. Trenton Bouquet is doubtful. Drew Pine is expected to play here. He went 5 of 13 for 52 yards and had 2 interceptions last week. But Pine played 11 games for Notre Dame last year, 65% completion rate, 8 yards per pass attempt. He did suffer an injury during training camp and is finally healthy. Sun Devils, 126 in the nation in total offense. But Pine in the second game could get enough points on the board to get this total over. Play here USC and Arizona State over total here of 62 points. California versus Washington college football pick. Here we go. Saturday, Cal 2-1 with their 31-17 home victory to FCS Idaho. Facing FBS opponents, the Golden Bears had a 37-point win at North Texas and lost by 4 at home to Auburn. Quarterback Sam Jackson is completing 54% of his passes with 4.9 yards per attempt. He had 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He has 65 yards rushing and a touchdown. Washington improved to 3-0. A 41-7 road victory at Michigan State. Huskies were up 35-0 at the half. The team rushed for nearly 6 yards a carry. They limited the Spartans to 2 yards per rush with 208 yards passing on 35 attempts. Michael Penix hit on 27-35 for 473 yards with 4 touchdowns, averaging 13.5 yards per attempt. He's not much of a threat to run. Cal has covered the past 4 meetings against the Huskies. Last year, the Huskies came away with that 28-21 win with 374 yards passing by Penix. Golden Bears did play Auburn tough at home. They are running the football effectively, 5.2 yards a carry, and they said 26 in total defense. Play here will be on Cal at plus the 20.5. Iowa versus Penn State college football pick. Here we go. This is action on Friday. Iowa 3-0 after that 41-10 home victory to Western Michigan. Hawkeyes rushed for 254 yards on 43 carries. They limited the Broncos to just over 3 yards per rush with 122 yards passing on 18 attempts. Michigan transfer Cade McNamara went 9 of 19 for 103 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He averaged 5.4 yards per attempt. Penn State 3-0, a 30-13 road win at Illinois. Navy Lions rushed for 4.1 yards per attempt. They limited the fight Illini to 2 yards a carry with 292 yards passing on 44 attempts. Dre LR 16 of 33 for 208 yards and 6.3 yards per attempt. He rushed for 24 yards. Now, Navy Lions had a +5 turnover margin by picking off 4 passes. Hawkeyes defense held opponents at 4.3 yards per play, which is 19th best in the nation. McNamara's performance in his initial conference game, just a concern. McNamara appeared banged up last week, playing through this questionable status in that injury report. Iowa 122nd in the nation in total offense play here. Penn State -14.5. North Carolina and Pittsburgh college football pick for Saturday. North Carolina improved to 3-0, a 31-13 home victory in Minnesota. Tar Heels rushed for 3 yards a carry. They did allow over 5.5 yards per run of the Golden Gophers with 133 passing yards on 30 attempts. Drake May completed 29 of 40 for 414 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He averaged 10.4 yards per pass attempt. Pittsburgh 1-2 after a 17-6 road defeat at West Virginia. Panthers rushed for under 4 yards a carry with really poor production in the passing game. They allowed 3 yards a carry to the Mountaineers with 60 passing yards on 11 attempts. Phil Jurkovich 8 of 20 for 81 yards and 3 interceptions. He averaged only 4.1 yards per attempt and rushed for 35 yards on 11 carries. Panthers had a -2 turnover margin. Pittsburgh's inexperienced on defense, bringing back just 5 starters. Tar Heels 19th in total offense, averaging 494 yards a game. Pittsburgh 113th in total offense. Jurkovich in his 2 games against FBS competition, completing just 34% of his passes with 5 yards per attempt. Massive quarterback discrepancy here. Play here will be on North Carolina, -7.5. UCF versus Kansas State. College football pick. Here we go on Saturday. UCF 3-0 after their 48-14 home victory to FCS Villanova. Knights have wins at home to Kent by 50 and Boise State 18-16. Quarterback Timmy McClain is a backup. He's in now due to the injury to John Rice Plumlee. He saw action in 11 games in 2021, completing 55% of his passes, 7.2 yards per attempt. He had 7.2 yards per attempt average and rushed for 4 touchdowns there. He's passed for 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. This year he threw 5 passes in mop-up duty against Kent and had a good outing against Villanova, which is a pretty good FCS program. Kansas State fell to 2-1, a 30-27 road defeat at Missouri. Kansas State loses by allowing a 61-yard field goal as time expires. Wildcats gain nearly 4 yards per rush. They limit the Tigers to under 3 yards a carry with 356 yards passing on 36 attempts. Will Howard went 25 of 39 for 270 yards and 3 touchdowns with a pick. He averaged 6.9 yards per attempt. Howard is a game-time decision with undisclosed reasons here. Quarterback 2 is Avery Johnson, who threw 4 passes in week 1 against FCS opponents. We could be looking at 2 backup quarterbacks here. McClain and Johnson look like major downgrades. These are good defensive teams, though. Wildcats allow just 1.8 yards per rush. UCF holds opposed at 3.4 yards a carry and only 43% completions, which is best in the nation. Play here at UCF and Kansas State under 52.5. James Madison and Utah State college football pick Saturday. James Madison improved here to 3-0 after their 16-14 road victory at Troy. Dukes rushed for 2.5 yards a carry. They limited the Trojans to -12 rushing yards with 333 passing yards on 44 attempts. Jordan McLeod completed 18 of 26 passes for 200 yards with a touchdown. He averaged 7.7 yards per attempt. Utah State fell to 1-2, a 39-21 road defeat to the Air Force. Aggies were down 29-zip early in the second quarter. The team rushed for 2 yards per attempt. They surrendered 344 yards rushing to the Falcons on 64 carries. And, of course, did allow 84 yards passing on 4 attempts. It was a -2 turnover margin for the Aggies. Now, freshman quarterback McKay Hillstead will start at quarterback for the ineffective Cooper Legis. Last week, he completed 18 of 27 passes for 202 yards, 3 touchdowns. He averaged 7.5 yards per attempt. 3 straight road games for James Madison. The Dukes have a really good running attack, averaging 4.8 yards per attempt, and the Aggies were torched on the ground last week. Dukes, while they're tops in college football in rush defense and face a freshman quarterback in his first start, Play here will be James Madison and Utah State to go under total here of 52.5. UNLV and UTEP college football pick for Saturday. UNLV 2-1 after that 40-37 home victory to Vanderbilt. Rebels overcame that 17-zip deficit in the second quarter. The team rushed for 3.2 yards a carry. They held the Commodores to just over 2 yards per rush with 337 passing yards on 37 attempts. Rebels had a +2 turnover margin. Quarterback Doug Brunfield hit on 2 of 4 passes for 15 yards and an interception. He was forced to leave the game due to injury and is questionable on Saturday. Jaden Maiva in relief went 19 of 33 passes for 261 yards with a touchdown and an interception. He averaged nearly 8 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 29 yards with a touchdown. UTEP 1-3, a 31-10 road defeat to Arizona. Miners rushed for under 2 yards a carry. They surrendered 544 yards to the Wildcats with 244 yards rushing in the game. UTEP surrendered 300 passing yards in the game with 32 attempts. Gavin Hardison hit on 15 of 31 for 228 yards with 7.4 yards per attempt. Miners sit 118th in the nation in yards allowed per carry. Opponents running for nearly 5 yards a carry on him. Miners 86 in total offense. Hardison playing on eggshells after getting benched and has been inefficient in all 4 seasons at the school. Rebels look like they found something in Maiva. Play here UNLV -2. All right, that was our college football pick show here for week number 4, part 5, as we film here Friday. If you're looking for our Friday picks, we did a separate video on all 4 of those games, so check it out there. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have free college football picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports like NFL, like Major League Baseball. Lots of live shows over our channel with lots of cappers giving out picks. Our newest show here debuted this week, Midday Plays with Mindy and Tiffany. So guys, make sure you tune into that and give us a like on this video, thumbs up. We appreciate that. And don't forget to visit our site, TonySpace.com, for our best plays. Our premium picks are there. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You'll save 20% off. Find the link in the description to get to the site. All right, I'm Tony T. More picks coming out throughout the day.